Hey guys, Putt here bringing you the first match from week number 6. I actually recorded this video earlier, but my settings had randomly reset and it was using the wrong microphone, so I'm going to have to redo it. But whatever, no big deal. So I've already uploaded the 2 matches that happened after this one on YouTube, the live matches, and then I got this one and Samuel versus John video to do as well. I also did that one. And had the wrong microphone on that one as well. So I got to redo both of these, but whatever, it's no big deal. Anyways, this week is between the Sanchez, the Sandshrews, and Putt's Poliwags. So it's me versus Colton, and this is a pretty big game for both of us because if he wins, I'm pretty sure he secures a playoff spot. But if I win and if I lose, then I'm dropped to 2-4, and it becomes really hard for me to make the playoffs. Whereas if I win, I put myself in a pretty good spot, and I tie up the record between us 3-3. So let's jump into this battle screen here. Okay, my camera was doing something weird there for a second, but it went away. So I'm on the top side. We got the Azelf, Magirna, Hariyama, Gyarados, Wigglytuff, and the Gourgeist Super. And then on the bottom side with the Sandshrews, we got Manaphy, Weavile, Jolteon, Donphan, Alolan Muck, and Altaria. So my game plan was 100% Magirna for this match because Magirna has like a pretty much 1v1s every Pokemon in his team outside of like Donphan, because Donphan is the only Pokemon that can actually one-hit KO me on his team. Even like Choice Specs Fire Blast from Altaria doesn't one-hit KO. So I had Sugar Berry Magirna. That way if I needed to take an Earthquake, simply because like Sturdy was a thing. So if his Sturdy's up and I need to take an Earthquake, I can hit him and then take an Earthquake and then kill him on the next turn. That was the plan for the Sugar Berry, just like a safety net, I guess you will. But my plan for this game was that I really wanted to get Rocks up because I wanted to break that Sturdy, and I also just wanted to get some chip damage down on some of his Mons. And I brought the Gourgeist Super pretty much simply because it can spin block the Donphan, which is his only spinner. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bring Gourgeist Super. It completely walls Donphan, and it blocks the rapid spin. So if I get Rocks up, I can guarantee them up. And then I was just going to try to find a sweep with his Elf was pretty much the plan. So, yeah, let's start it up. Alright, so he leads with his Muck here, and I have Frisk Wigglytuff, and it sees the Assault Vest, which is pretty bad news for me because my Magirna has a hard time hitting Muck Super. I could have run Earth Power, but like I was running Shift Gear, so I have Shift Gear and 3 attacks, and I wanted to run Earth Power because it hit like Muck Super and could hit Jolteon Super and Lucario Super, but I ran Dancing Gleam, Energy Ball, and Shadow Ball because with those 3 moves I hit 8 of his 12 Mons super effective, and the other 4 that I don't hit super are hit neutrally by Dazzling Gleam, which is my strongest move because it's the only stab move I have. So I felt like that was my best bet. Also, the 4 that hit neutrally by Dazzling Gleam were Jolteon, Lucario, and Ambipom, and then Muck. So the first 3 are pretty squishy Mons overall, with Muck being pretty bulky, especially defensive. He can't really touch Magirna, but because he doesn't. Well, if he was running some weird set where he had like a Fire Blast, he could do pretty decent damage to me. Even though he's got pretty low special attack, it still would have done decent damage. But if he's not running something weird like that just for Magirna, then Magirna does fine against him. The only thing is that Magirna takes a while for him to kill him, especially if he's Assault Vest Muck. So it could take a while for I kill him, and he could wear my Magirna down quite a bit if that's the case. So I see the Assault Vest, and that's pretty scary to me. Okay, so I charm the Muck here as he goes for the Poison Jab. Now I'm going to talk about this a little bit here. So I didn't plan on his Muck leading, but whenever I wanted to bring Wigglytuff this week and set the Rocks with Wigglytuff, but I looked at his team and I said, man, Muck is a problem. He can't one-hit KO me if I'm defensive, but he pretty much drops me down super low. I set Rocks, and then he kills me on the next play. And I didn't want to just have Wigglytuff just come out, set Rocks, and die immediately. So I saw that it learned Charm, and Wigglytuff's base speed is 45. Muck's is only 50. So I sped crept this Muck so that I would outspeed it and get a Charm off before he could Poison Jab me. And I also was running Leftovers. I wanted to run Lumberry just in case like the Poison Touch did poison me, but at the same time there was no he could have ran could have had Gluttony Berry, or he could have been running Well, Power of Alchemy is not very good ability, I don't think. But yeah, I think Poison. If you're not running a berry, he's gonna run Poison Touch, of course. So as soon as I see an AV, like he's got Poison Touch. But if I run leftovers with a Charm, Poison Jab is a 4-hit KO. If he poisons me, like if I don't run leftovers, he can still 3-hit KO me, because that one did like 30-something%, 39%, 30. I think it did 39%. Look. I mean 30. It did 34%. So it still has. I think it's like an 81% chance to 3-hit KO. Without leftovers, but with leftovers he can't. It hits a 4-hit KO, and but if he gets poison on me, it doesn't matter because it will do more. It will just rack up the damage. So, anyways, that's just. I was gonna take the risk of not getting poison and hopefully my Wigglytuff staying alive longer, but I did get poison. But it's okay. Not the worst thing to happen for me. So I do just set my rocks on this play, as he does go for the knockoff, which I was glad. Because he does get rid of my leftovers, but if he goes for Poison Jab, maybe even lower. So I just go for another Charm here, because I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to Charm this Muck again, and if he wants to stay in and kill my Wigglytuff, and that's like, my Magearna's pretty free to come in and shift gear on a -2 Muck, because he'd be forced to switch, because he couldn't do nothing. And so I get a free shift gear, and then maybe could hit something hard. Or I could also just go in like Gyarados setup. I could go and pretty much do whatever I wanted to if I got Muck to -4, but he does switch into his Donphan, or Charm his Donphan. So this is really nice. So I don't want to just let Wigglytuff die here, and I also don't want to let him spin, so I go straight into Gourgeist to make sure he doesn't rapid spin. So he does just set his own rocks, which that's fine, I don't care. So I go for a Will-O-Wisp here, predicting his switch, but he doesn't switch. I didn't really know what play to go for, because he had, he doesn't want to switch Manaphy in, because I could throw out a Seed Bomb or a Giga Drain, and that would do some good damage. He doesn't want to switch Weavile in, because it could get Will-O-Wisp. He doesn't want to switch Muck in, because it could get Will-O-Wisp. Jolteon, Jolteon doesn't care about being Will-O-Wisp, but he still doesn't want to really get hit by like rocks and then an attack. Like that would do a lot of damage to him. Also, I don't really know how much Signal Beam does to Gourgeist, but I don't know if he could really kill me, to be honest. And then Altaria was the only one that really made sense, but I was like, whatever. He doesn't have a great switch in to Will-O-Wisp, but I just threw it out there. And he actually just stays in, so the Donphan's completely shut down. So, and that's also good. Getting that Will-O-Wisp is also huge, because now if my Sugar Berry gets knocked off my Magearna, I don't even care, because I can easily live a burnt Earthquake from burnt Donphan. So out comes the Altaria as I Giga Drain on the next play, and that does nothing, but that's fine. I just go into Hariyama, because I think, you know what, he's in on Altaria. He's either going to Ice Beam, or he's going to Flamethrower, or Fire Blast, whatever. So I'm just like, whatever. I can go to Hariyama. I got Thick Fat. It's Thick Fat AV. I take that no problem. So here I'm just like, I couldn't decide what play to go for here, because I was like, I can't close combat, because if he stays in on Altaria, and because if it's not Specs Altaria, and he's running something like Expert Build or something, he has like Moonblast, he could hurt me pretty good. So I didn't want to take that risk, so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to knock off. And he actually switches into Muck, which is perfect. So that knockoff does nothing, but I get rid of the AV, which is huge, because now it's much easier for my Magearna to kill him. So now I'll go into Wigglytuff, because I think, okay, I can win the game now. So I'm going to sack Wigglytuff to this knockoff, because Wigglytuff's done its job. And also, I did that just in case he like went for some other move and I lived it. Then I could get a Charm off as well, but that's fine. I died, no big deal. So I go into my Zelf to set screens. He goes for a Shadow Sneak, which I'm really glad. He could have gone for a knockoff and it would have almost killed me, but then I was able to get dual screens before he kills me. I don't know if I could have got... No, I think I was still healthy enough that I could live a knockoff behind Reflect. So, yeah, that doesn't really matter that he went for that Shadow Sneak. So I go into Magearna here. I easily set up on Muck as he goes for the knockoff. And he gets rid of my Sugar Berry. This is what I was talking about. If he ever got Sugar Berry knocked off. But like I said, I'm fine. Donphan's weak. So he goes into Altaria. I don't really know why. I just fired off the D-Gleam. And killed the Altaria. So now I got my +1 boost. He doesn't have any good switch ins, and that's pretty much why I ran this set, is because like at this point there's not really a play he can make. I'm behind dual screens, I'm +2 speed, +1 special, and I got rocks up. And his team, he has nothing on his team that's bulky enough or that can wall Magearna long enough to like wait out the screens and then kill me. So, and he doesn't have anything that can hit me hard enough. So pretty much shift gear Magearna auto wins against his team. So he does tail glow here. It doesn't matter. So like, I can't blame him for making that play because he doesn't know if I have energy ball or not. And you know, if I only have like D gleam, you know, I don't know what set he's running on Manaphy, but if he's like bulky Manaphy, he might be able to take 2+1 D gleams, and then you know, try to fire back a strong Scald or something. Just to even though I got screens up, like the +3 Scald will do a pretty good bit. So if he was able to, I mean, I think that toe glow is actually a pretty smart play. Because like if he doesn't tail glow, the Scald does nothing behind the screen. So I'm sure he's hoping that, you know, that I had nothing to hit his Manaphy super effective with. That way he could live a hit, tail glow, live another hit, and then hit me with something hard before it goes down. And then hopefully that his either that his Jolteon outspeeds even at +2, or that his Grimer Shadow Sneak can kill with maybe even Ice Shard from. So it's going to take him a lot if he wants to kill this thing, but yeah. So this is what I was talking about before, why I ran Dazzling Gleam over Earth Power. I don't need Earth Power for Jolteon. It's pretty squishy, so at +2, it easily dies to Dazzling Gleam. So then comes the Dawn Fan, and it doesn't have its 30, so I'm fine just firing Energy Ball. So now I'm at, what, +4? So out comes the Muck as the Reflect wears off. But yeah, as you see, like, Muck can't really touch Magearna. Dazzling Gleam does plenty. Then his last mon is Weavile. And another D-Gleam kills him as well. So, yeah, that was a good game. Really, it was, I don't feel like Colton did anything wrong that game. Like, any plays where I was just like, oh, that's the wrong play to make. It was pretty much that Magearna just beat his whole roster. And if I get one shift gear, he pretty much has no chance to win as long as I, like, secure certain win conditions, such as, like, breaking sturdy on Dawn Fan, which is really easy if I get rocks up. And, considering that I can get rocks up with Wigglytuff, I mean, I can pretty much guaranteed rocks if I run Sashed, whatever. Like, Sashed as Elf can pretty much always get rocks up. And then I can always block a spin with Gourgeist. So I knew I was going to, so I pretty much always break sturdy or Sash on anything. So I don't have to worry about something living a hit from Magearna and then firing back a really strong hit if I have rocks up. And, but yeah, with the shift gear and those 3 attacks, all I pretty much needed was to get +1. Whenever he switched to Altaria and it killed, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's game, because at +1 I OHKO like everything. Like, of course that Manaphy could live an Energy Ball, but I wasn't worried about that because it had to be +2 to one hit kill Manaphy. But it doesn't matter because Manaphy doesn't really threaten me back with anything. Pretty much nobody on his team does. The only thing that was, like, I really needed the one-hit KO Dawn Fan. That was the main one, because he was the only one that could actually one-hit KO me with his Earthquake. So overall, it was a good game. I've set up the last 2 weeks, and Gyarados had a 6-0 game last week. Magearna has a 6-0 game this week. Honestly, I did that because I felt like both of those teams are somewhat similar. So last week with Reagan's team, they have pretty similar teams. Like, they have a lot of offense, and then they have a few bulky mons. Reagan obviously has the chance. He's got the Blastoise. Rotom Heat's pretty bulky. Cofagrigus also. But then outside of that, like, that's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty squishy. And the plan was like, hey, his team's pretty soft. I can set up on Chansey because it's offensively doesn't do much. And if I get a couple D-dances, then I could kill his whole team. This week was pretty much the same plan. It was like, if I get set up, his team isn't strong enough to live even neutral hits if I just get one boost. So Magearna and Gyarados kind of do the same thing. You know, Moxie Gyarados just constantly building up that attack. Magearna with the Soul Heart can just constantly build up its special attack. So kind of the same thing, 2 different ways in the same week. But yeah, that was a good game. I'm back to 3-3 now. I have a good differential at +9. If I win next week, I guarantee a spot in the playoffs. Well, I guess it's this week now because it's already Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Holy cow. Because it's already Thursday. So we'll be playing the next couple days. I gotta get ready. Even if I do lose that game though, I have a chance to still make playoffs. Pretty decent chance, I guess. Because I need. See, there's me, me and Caleb, one of us will be 4-3. So the winner of our game guarantees playoffs. Then Colton, if Colton loses, he'll be 3-4. If John loses, he'll be 3-4, and Samuel can lose and be 3-4. The only way I don't make playoffs, I think, is if Colton wins. Okay, I have to lose, then Colton has to win, John has to win, and Samuel has to win. No, if all three of them win, actually, a 4-3 team will be left out. Ooh. Interesting. But I think if two of those... Okay, there's too many scenarios. I don't want to think about them all. But yeah, I still have a good chance of making the playoffs. Even if I don't win, it's a decent chance. But I hope to just go in next week and just win. That way I can just go ahead and guarantee a spot and don't have to sit back and play the differential game and hope that so and so beats so and so. I want to control my own destiny, and I do right now. Me and Caleb both do, and I'm looking forward to that match. But I'm pretty nervous about it because it's the biggest match of the year for both of us. Because a win means playoffs, a loss could mean you're out. But still, both of us could still make it even with the loss. So yeah, great game, Colton. Sorry I had to break out shift gear. Now I know it's kind of cheap, but it was just a little bit too good to be true against your roster in particular. Yep. One more game for this week. See you guys later. Peace.